What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Blind Guardian. Yes, indeed, Blind Guardian fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Jonas R. And Jonas wanted to see me react to this song by Blind Guardian called Time Stands Still at the Iron Hill. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second. Yeah, I recognize this. I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see. Oh man, this name is going to be a mouthful. This was posted by Virtual VH 3, Roman numeral 3, Cultural Manic. Wow, that is a mouthful. And the video has 32,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Blind Guardian, Imaginations Through the Looking Glass, full concert, 720p, 50 FPS. Yeah, this is a full concert. Jonas told me to start at 45 seconds, which is right where we're at. And I'm supposed to end at 6:05. Well, we all know how that goes. Sometimes I hit the mark, sometimes I don't. I'll have to wait and see how this one goes, I guess. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Pyro before the song even starts. Love it. I like the stage design. A little soft. It's good. I don't have a problem with it. It's especially as a show opener, it's got the right kind of energy. It's got the right kind of drive. It's got that anthemic feel to it in the chorus, which is nice. It's a good way to get the crowd vested and interested and participating by singing along with the song right from the get-go. So it's a good way to go. Musicianship sounds clean. And I'm going to talk about this far more at length during the review, but I'm really glad that I'm seeing this live instead of hearing this on a studio recording. Because seeing it live, seeing them actually performing and playing the song live is far more impressive. I'll go more into detail later in the review. The chordal progression is very pleasing to the ear. A lot of usage of major in this, which I was honestly not expecting. I mean, it's primarily minor, yes, but there's a lot of major usage, in particular in the chorus, which is, I think, part of that anthemic feel is we do have those transitions from minor key to resolving to major keys throughout the whole chorus. Sorry, not major keys, major chords. Vocally, I like what he's doing. Primarily clean vocal, but he's also got grit and growl as well. And he's able to demonstrate it, number one, in a live setting. And number two, switching between the two very cleanly. Plus, it's a good ratio. On top of that, the live show looks good. I think they've covered most of the boxes. I don't think they've covered all of them yet. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh, not that one. No, they haven't had that one yet. Yes, but it's subtle, but it is there. Yeah, I'll count that. And yeah. Okay, so there are some boxes that are checked clearly. There are some boxes that are checked weakly, and there's a box that has not been checked at all. So, we're not doing bad on the live show. They're doing pretty good. I would like to see that one box get checked, and one of the boxes that's a little on the weaker side, I would like to see that get strengthened. But we still have some time. We still got. I'm supposed to stop in about 2 minutes, so they got about 2 minutes to clean things up a little bit. Good. I'm glad they got some time. Hopefully, we'll see some things improve. Anyway, let's get back into this. Back into 4/4. Nice. Okay. Crowd responds. They like it. They like what they're hearing. They like what they're seeing. 6:05. There we go. Got it. Okay. I got some good news and I got some bad news. In regards to the live show. So, well, I promise you we're going to cover that. We're going to talk about everything. I guarantee you. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Blind Guardian with a live performance of Time Stands Still at the Iron Hill. This was a request from Jonas R. Okay, I took everything into account here. I have a score. I'm going to talk about how I came up with the score, and there's a couple other things I'd like to discuss as well since we're here. Because it falls not just with this band, but with a lot of other bands in this genre, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's start off with the score first, and we'll go from there. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.3. Yup, 8.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.3. What does that mean? Well, an 8.3 would translate to a great skill rating, because overall, I think this was a great overall presentation. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and an A- letter grade. So there you go, an 8.3, great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Let's start with the song itself. Okay, now, the song on its own, it's a really good song. Okay, I don't know if I would go as far as to call it a great song, but it is a really good song with a lot of things going for it. I love the switching between 4/4 and 6/8, utilizing 6/8 in key points, not just switching on a whim just for the sake of switching, you know, like a lot of other bands have done in the past. No, whenever they would switch to 6/8, there was a reason for it. And the reason was the guitar was taking over the main melodic line, or the guitar was soloing. Whenever the guitar would do one of those two things, we would switch to 6/8. It would signal, it's like signaling the arrival of, you know, a royal guest, you know? Here comes the guitar to lead the charge. Switch to 6/8. It makes sense. And the thing is, one of the main reasons it works as well as it does, it's consistent. Every single time the guitar would take the lead, whether it be taking the main melodic line or soloing, the spotlight would go on the guitar player, and there was that change in the feel. I like that. I really do. And like I said, it was consistent. You could bank on it. And then when we would come out of it, we would go right back into that 4/4 time again. Very smart, very deliberate, very well thought out. The chordal progression for the song made perfect sense. Everything flowed well. Everything was very pleasing to the ear. Nothing about the song sounded disjointed. I never felt at any time throughout the entire song like that part doesn't belong. Like that part sounds like it should be in another song, like I've heard in other songs from other bands. I never felt that way here. I never felt that way. This sounded good from start to finish, conducive all the way through. Voicings all made sense, whether it be from vocals or from instrumentation. Everything lined up, everything aligned perfectly with each other. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the most impressive songwriting I've ever heard, because it's not. I've heard far more impressive songwriting than this. But this was a really good, solid song, start to finish, from a songwriting standpoint. If I'm being honest, I would give the songwriting probably about a 7.8 for the song. Now, musicianship. Across the board, very well done, very solid. Bass and drums locked in with each other. Keyboard and guitar sharing responsibility for filling out the sound and taking the lead. When one was filling out the sound, the other one was the main melodic voice in the instrumentation. And when they would switch, they made it very clear that the other instrument would now be filling out the sound while the other instrument was now taking the lead. it made perfect sense again, and it was done very well, very smooth transitions, and they did it in a way that the song never got hollow. It never thinned out. The song sounded full from beginning to end. I appreciate that. I absolutely do. On top of that, the vocalist, fine job on his part. Primarily, mostly, I would say about 90% of the vocals were clean vocals. I appreciate that. He, however, was able to demonstrate his grit and growl vocal as well. We're going to talk about that more in a little bit. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the musicianship in general in a little bit. But no, overall, I thought musicianship-wise, I think they did a fine job, and I would bump that score up to about, honestly, I would say about a 7.9, maybe even 8.0 for that. But I'm giving this an 8.3. What happened here? Well, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know what I'm gonna say. So take a deep breath and say it with me, kids.
Say it out one time.
A live show can help your score or it can hurt your score. In this case, it helped, but not as much as you might think. Let's go down the checklist and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, stage presence, check. Oh yeah, they all look like performers. They all acted like performers. I got no issue with anything I saw from them as individuals and as a collective. So stage presence, check. Stage energy, yeah, that was quite a bit of stage energy. I saw everybody on stage other than the keyboard player and the drummer, but the bass player was in the back rocking out. The guitar players up at the front were moving around. The vocalist was moving around, creating kinetic energy. I like that. I like seeing that effort and that attention to detail when it comes to their stage energy. So yeah, that's a check. Stage interaction. Okay, well, unfortunately, this one gets a big fat goose egg. 0. There was no stage interaction whatsoever. Now, granted, it's the first song of the set, and we got a long, that video is 2 hours long. So they're going to be performing for 2 hours. I'm sure during the course of the 2 hour long concert, I am positive there was probably several moments of stage interaction. I'm sure there was, but in this particular song, this one song, didn't see it. So unfortunately, 0 for that one. That box goes completely unchecked. Crowd interaction. I am gonna give it a check, but it is a weak check. The guitar players, they were, I saw them making some effort to interact with the crowd. It was very subtle. You know, taking the headstocks of their instruments and, you know, pointing into the crowd, or, you know, stepping up to the front of the stage and leering into the crowd. Now, I do count that. Absolutely. I do. The lead vocalist, however, very little effort on his part to interact with the crowd, which I found, honestly, to be a little bit of a letdown. If anybody should be interacting with the crowd, it should be the front man or front woman of the band, depending on, you know, the band that you're watching at the time. That's really one of their responsibilities. Yes, they're the lead singer. They should be singing the lead. Yes, I understand that. Yes. But if you're going to be a performer, if you're going to be a live performer, there's other things, there's other aspects that you have to cover as well. And one of those things, along with stage presence, along with showmanship, is crowd interaction. That is a responsibility of the front person. So if you're not doing it and you're relying on your guitar players to do it, a little bit of a letdown, if I'm being honest. It's kind of a shame to watch your guitar players put out more effort to interact with the crowd than you as the front person. So it is getting a check, but it is getting a weak check. Moving on, showmanship. Yeah, I'll give that one a check. Everybody was doing a good job, looking theatrical. Everything they did when it came to the movements and motions, it was big. So everybody in the crowd could see it, including the people way in the back. So yeah, showmanship, no problem. Give it a check there. Production, yes, that absolutely gets a check. Before the song even kicked in, pyro, squibs, and the sheet drop. I mean, that's always, you know, big. Right before the song even starts, you're doing production. On top of that, their stage design looked really cool. I love the ramp usage. You could not keep me off of those ramps. If I was playing live on a stage like that, I guarantee you I would be going up and down those ramps constantly. Those look like a lot. That whole stage looks like a lot of fun with the multi-tier riser and the ramps and everything. I would have a blast on a stage like that. They could have utilized it more, but like I said, this is a 2-hour-long show, and this was the very first song of the set. I'm sure those ramps got utilized during the course of the entire concert, but in this particular one song, not so much. But the production did look good, lighting looked good, and kicking off the song before it even starts with the squibs and the pyro, nice touch. So yeah, that one definitely gets a check. So that's how we're coming up from, like I said, like a 7.9, 8.0, 8.0. Let's just call it that what it is, 8.0. Moving it up to an 8.3, okay? I feel good about the score, and that's where we're gonna stay. Now, a couple of things I want to discuss. And I'm bringing this up because I've been noticing these comments more and more when it comes to quote-unquote power metal groups in the comments. And the complaint is always the same. The complaint is you should have had him listen to the studio recording first. The studio recording, reveals more of the intricacies. The studio recording shows more of the layering. The studio recording shows, more of the subtleties. Okay, here's the thing. Number one, and for people telling me I have to, and those are the ones that really crack me up. You have to react to the studio version first. Ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I have to do in this life is pay taxes and die. That's it. Everything else I do by choice, okay? I don't have to do anything. That's number one. Number two, the individual requested this. They requested this for a specific reason. They wanted to see me react to this particular video. It may not necessarily be the video that you wanted, but if you wanted a video to be reacted to, guess what you should have done? You should have gone and made the request yourself. If you don't like the requests that people make, don't watch them. Don't sit there and complain about it. Just don't watch it. It's real simple. Look, I give you plenty of notice, when I transition over to the video reaction, I say, all right, here we go. You can see the screen. You can see what it is. Oh, it's a live performance. Well, I don't want to watch that. Then don't watch it. Real simple. Well, it's going to hurt your views. I don't care about my views. I really don't. I don't care if one of my video gets 1 view or 1 million views. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. It's no skin off my teeth. So don't sit there and, try to justify your complaint. Just don't watch it. Real simple. As far as studio versus live goes, I'm going to be honest with you folks. I prefer watching live performances. Reason being, I'm more impressed by it. Let's take a guitar solo, okay? Let's just take a guitar solo. Now, I could sit here and listen to a studio recording of a guitar solo. All right, I can. And I'll listen to it, and, it's impressive what's being played, sure. But you have to understand, folks, when it comes to recording guitar solos, there is a process called the recording process where you didn't like that take. Okay, well, we'll scrap it and we'll try again. And after 10, 12, 17, 32, 80, 86 takes for a guitar solo, I've been there. It's like, I'd rather have dental work done, in all honesty. But, after all the takes you need to take, you finally get the guitar solo you're happy with, except for maybe this one section and this one section. Okay, well, guess what? Thanks to the glorious application known as Pro Tools, we can now punch you in and you can re-record that 1-2 second section. And we'll just, paste it in there. We'll punch it in. So when you hear a guitar solo played on an album, keep in mind there is a process, okay? Now, you watch that exact same guitar solo being played live during a live performance, and it sounds really good. It sounds clean. There's no screw-ups. There's no flubs. I'm going to tell you right now, I am far more impressed with a live performance guitar solo. Why? Because there are no second takes. There is no take 5. There is no take 17. There is no take 86. There's no extra takes. You get one shot. That's it to pull off a guitar solo that you recorded in studio, probably through the process of multiple takes. You get one shot to nail it. If you don't nail it, too bad. We're moving on. You know, I'm far more impressed by that. That's why I prefer live performances. You get to see the song performed raw. You get to see the song performed in one shot. No retakes, no resets. You get one chance. And when the band nails the song, to me, it's far more impressive. So I actually prefer live versus studio. The last thing I'm going to discuss, and I'm bringing this up because I brought it up with not this band, but I brought it up with a couple of other bands. The usage of backing vocals. Now, I know the lead vocalist was singing live. I know he was, okay? The backing vocals. Now, I have on this channel, there have been a couple of bands like this band, power metal bands that have been performing live that we have caught lip syncing, haven't we? Yes, we have. Not going to name any names, not going to point any fingers, but you know, if you've been watching this channel and you follow the power metal groups, you know the bands I'm talking about, okay? You've seen the reactions and you saw for yourself people walking away from the mic and you could still hear the backing vocals going. Yeah, I love it when that happens. Listen, I have said this time and time again about backing tracks. I have no problem with bands utilizing backing tracks as long as you're honest about it, okay? If you're going to utilize backing tracks and use backing vocals in those backing tracks, then be honest about it, okay? Now, I've touched on this once. I don't think these guys were lip syncing. I don't think they were. And if they were, they pulled it off real well. It looked like they were singing live. Whenever we heard backing vocals in the mix, we saw the guitar players on the mics. So I don't have an issue with this. Now, if they were lip syncing, I'm not saying they were, but if they were lip syncing, I will give credit where credit's due. I don't like lip syncing, but I will give credit where credit's due. And if they were lip syncing, they committed. They absolutely committed. And when backing vocals were coming, they were right there on the mics, ready to perform, ready to lip sync, and it looked real. Now, I'm not saying that they were lip syncing. I don't think they were. It sounded live to me. But if they were lip syncing, kudos to them. They got away with it because it was really clean. So I don't know which one it was. I'm almost positive they were singing live. I'm like 90% I'm about 90% sure that they were singing live. Okay. But there is that 10%. And the reason I'm saying that, guys, is I've been there. I've been stuck into bands. I've been stuck into positions where we had to lip sync. And either because we were told to lip sync by the promoters of the shows, or I got hired to be in a band where they lip synced the backing vocals. And I'm just sitting there looking at the guys in the band like, are you kidding me? But all right, hey, look. You're paying me, so whatever. I'll lip sync, sure. It's no skin off my teeth. But at the same time, I'm also going to be honest about it. If people ask if we were lip syncing, I'm going to say, yep. Anyway, those are the two things I want to discuss. Well, three things, actually. So anyway, 8.3 for this song and this live performance. I absolutely believe that's exactly where we need to be. So that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.3, which is a great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.